Very good. Ms. Bridgewater, the SAP reset date?
The 22nd.
Thank you. Courtroom 2, whenever you're ready for us, just let us know.
You can start with, hold on, the judge, I would like to ask about position number 14, Mr. White. He was on the calendar yesterday, Mr. Gary White. He's back on the calendar for today.
Your Honor, if you recall, that is the case that Mr. White needed to find arrangements to stay at a different personal care home. He was no longer able to stay at his current one, and we were bringing it back up on the calendar to follow up with the social worker to see if they were able to find him placement. I know that we put a name on the order as far as who was in charge of doing the placement, and today was just a status hearing. And
Right.
I think Your Honor said that if they didn't find him placement by today, you wanted to revisit the issue.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Falk. Was this your case, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
And did we find, was he able to get picked up yesterday or not?
Not that we know of, Your Honor.
Have you been in touch with anyone since yesterday regarding this?
I have not with regard to him, though. I just, I was at the jail this morning and I've returned to the office. If I can find yesterday's notes, I'll find.
Okay, we had a number of people that were on the line with us yesterday that we got numbers for to try to make sure that that he was dealt with. Is he courtroom 2? Is Mr. White still in custody?
Yes, he's still in intake.
That's fine.
Okay, we need to figure out something, Mr. McCain. So I'll give you throughout the hearing today to address that.
Right. I will get those back. I'm sure they're here, and we will get hold of whoever it was we were talking to yesterday. Right now we're still doing the Lewis thing over again.
Okay. Well, I'm more concerned about Mr. White because I did not want him to be in custody if he didn't need to be through today. So if you need to get yourself some assistance or whatever you need to do, but let's make sure that we address Mr. White today, okay?
I probably will. I'll probably need some assistance on that, but I'll grab that in a few minutes, Your Honor. I'll do that while we're splitting cases.
Okay. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Who do we have first?
This is position number 3. Before we get started, position number 1 and position number 9 has posted bond.
Okay, thank you. So 1 Altman bonded out.
Yes.
And number 9, Mr. Randall has also bonded out. Okay, thank you. And you say this is position number 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pronounce your last name for me, sir.
It's Jaime.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You can have a seat. Mr. Hembry, you've been charged in case 25 CR 001834B with criminal trespass and damage to property. Good afternoon, Ms. Hardy. Is there a history?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, this defendant has 20 arrest cycles, 19 out of Georgia, 1 federal cycle. Their last arrest was May 16th, 2024 out of Fulton for stalking. That case is open under 24 CR 003239B. There's also an open case for terroristic threats and criminal trespass. That number is 23 CR 003887B. There's misdemeanor convictions in 2018 and 2023 for disorderly conduct. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Dunlap.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Just to confirm, this is Mr. Hamby, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just
It
making
is.
sure. This incident date happened on March 19th, 2025 at 1305 Summit Place Drive in Sandy Springs. Officers responded to the address regarding a damage to property call. They spoke with a Mr. Serge Martino in the parking lot of this location, who stated he worked from the apartment complex as a groundskeeper, and he was doing work on the building when he was approached by the defendant, demanding for him to move his car away from the area. I have to clarify that the car that he was asking to move from the area is not actually Mr. Martino's car. It's actually Mr. Yuri Farsius, Farias's car. So defendant threatened to cause harm to Mr. Martino if he didn't comply. A few hours later, Mr. Martino was outside in the parking lot when he observed the defendant approaching the car and struck the rear window with an unknown object, which caused the glass to shatter. Defendant then left the area. While officers were speaking with Mr. Martino, defendant returned to the area, was identified as the person who caused the damage of the car. And based on previous encounters, officers know he was known to carry rocks in his pocket. They think he smashed the window with rocks. The victim in the probable cause in the warrant is not actually the owner of the car, as I mentioned. It's Mr. Yuri Farsis, whose car it is. So the state is looking for a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial on this case. No further contact with I did have no further contact with Serge Martino, but I'm also going to add a no further contact with Yari Farsius, as is his car, and Mr. Martino is just the groundskeeper on this car. Groundskeeper in this case. And I'm sorry, I said 4,000. It's supposed to be a $1,000 surety bond. No further contact with Serge Martino and Yuri Farsis. A stay away if this is not his home address. I'll let the defense counsel advise if he does live there. I'm not sure. And 1 day arrogant awareness and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And we can sound for the victims when appropriate.
Okay, Ms. Dunlap, if you do not have it there, would you get me the bond orders for those two open cases that he has in state court here so that I know what the bond amounts are and who signed those bonds? If you can do that for me?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay. Mr. Chatai, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge Morrow. My client's a lifelong resident of Georgia. He's 32, got through school as far as the 12th grade at North Springs High School. He currently does not have a job. He tells me that he has certain medical issues and that he's expecting to receive disability checks soon. For those reasons, I asked the court to follow the state's recommendation of the $4,000 signature bond. No objection to the no further contact order. And I didn't discuss his residence or his address with him. I didn't think that would be an issue here. So I don't have any input on the stay away request.
Okay, Mr. Chatai, I believe Ms. Dunlap corrected her request. Instead of a $4,000 signature bond, she requested a $1,000 good bond, is my understanding.
Okay.
All right. And while I'm waiting for that other information, if Mr. Martinez or Mr. Ferris, if either of you are with me and wish to address the court, now is your opportunity. It does not appear so. Hold on, but you have a right to
Hey,
remain silent. Anything that you say can be used against you. So let Mr. Chatai speak for you for now. I'll have Mr. Chatai, Mr. Hamby wants to say something. So do you want to address him?
Mr. Heinbe, I strongly advise you to exercise your right to remain silent. This hearing is being recorded. Anything you say will be used against you in a future proceeding, and you will hurt your case by doing so. If you would, you can speak with a defense attorney in private when one is assigned to you in the future. If you insist on speaking, then go ahead, but I strongly advise you against it.
Hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
what happened on the night on May 19th was I went to the,
Hold on, sir. I don't want you speaking to that, okay? I understand that I understand that you have your side of the story and you'll be able to tell it, but I don't want you to get yourself into any more trouble than you already are. Quite often people think that
nothing
they
was
want
broken. Nothing was broken. His car was not broken. I was not detained. I asked the officer if I was being detained. He said you were free to go. So I went inside my house and sat down, and he sit out there to talk with the victim for 30 minutes, but nothing was even broken. And I was not even detained or arrested or talking to about anything. Nobody even mentioned that to me. Like I just did 16 hours in Cobb County for pissing in a bush basically. And then I found out I had this warrant when I was about to get out of Cobb County 2 days ago. And out of nowhere, this warrant came out of nowhere because when the night it happened, I was not detained. The officer stopped me in the parking lot when I was walking to the house. And he said, "Do you mind if I talk to you?" I said, I asked him, "Officer, I'm not being detained." He immediately answered, "You are free to go." But when he said you were free to go, I proceeded to go downstairs into my apartment, close the door, and sit down with my girlfriend. And I opened up the blinds, and the officer was up there talking to the victim for 30 more minutes. But there was nothing broken. He did not talk to me about anything. He did not charge me with anything. He did not detain me. Nothing like that even happened.
Okay, thank you, sir. Do you have that information for me, Ms. Dunlap?
Yes, the 2024 case, the stalking case was a $2,500 cash bond. That was from Sandy Springs Municipal. It was a bind over. The open case here I see from 2023, it was an $8,000 surety bond, and that was signed by Judge Mincy.
Okay, thank you. As such, it will be $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the Summit Place address. No further contact with the alleged victims. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir. Okay, you're on mute.
Position number 2, Brown.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Brown. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're going to conduct by video this afternoon. Let's see. Mr. Brown, you have been charged in case 25 CR 001833G with 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Judge Morrow, before we go any further, I think we may need to reset Mr. Brown. I was supposed to interview him today and I was not able to do so. I asked for a social worker visit. I emailed one of our social workers. So I think it's best if this case is reset to another calendar date until our social worker gets to him. There may be a competency issue.
Excuse
Okay,
me.
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chutai.
I don't
Hold on,
listen. I
hold
don't
on, hold on, Mr. Courtroom 2. Could you help me here, please?
Okay, take me back to myself.
Okay, thank you.
He was fired, man.
Oh,
You can't tell me a competency issue.
Okay, so we will reset this until tomorrow, 4/9.
Just tell me.
And
On you, gang. Like, you not my attorney. I told you.
You don't have to
earlier,
go through all that. Just say what you need to say.
You fired. All right. And
okay, so that, hold on, Mr. Brown,
No,
Mr. Brown, listen to me. Hold on a second, okay? So I understand that you don't want Mr. Chutai as your attorney. I'm gonna have someone visit you, and tomorrow we'll get you someone different. If you want to hire an attorney, you can do that. But we're gonna place your case on tomorrow's calendar, and you'll be back before us, okay? So we'll see if we can get you somebody, or you can hire somebody yourself if you choose to do that, okay?
Judge, you know.
All right.
Before you know.
So we will also have a social worker please visit Mr. Brown.
Judge Morrow, just so you're aware, there were a few open cases with the same victim in his case, and there is also some MH issues, just so you're aware.
Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Chutai, Ms. Dunlap. Who do we have next?
Number 4, Hunter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hunter. You've been charged in case 25 CR 001842C with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. The last arrest was December 20th, 2023 out of Houston County, Alabama for a probation violation and an FTA. They have a total of, 30 arrests out of Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. There's a 2023 public intoxication misdemeanor conviction. 2020 out of Florida, resisting officer without violence. 2024 battery, 2022 simple battery family violence. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Dunlap?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident date happened on April 4th, 2025 at 4255 State Route 138 in Union City. That's a racetrack. I'm unsure if that's a gas station or an actual event place, but officers responded to a disturbance call at this location. They met with the complaining Patrick Thompson, who stated he was on duty security guard at the establishment. He advised the defendant was on the property harassing several customers and asked the defendant to leave the property multiple times, to which he refused. Defendant was still on the property when officers arrived. They spoke to the defendant, who appeared to be intoxicated, and stated he was waiting for his ride. Officers told him representatives of the business asked him to leave and not return, and he would be trespassed from this location and could not return at any time. He said he understood and then left the property. A few minutes later, officers received a call from an additional property down the street at 4200 State Route 138 in Union City, where an employee advised the defendant was then harassing other employees at this establishment. He wanted him removed from the property. Officers arrived there, told the defendant to leave the property as well. He began walking back towards the racetrack property, to which he had just been trespassed from. Officers observed him walking into the property of the racetrack, harassing customers at this location, and then they arrested him. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial. I'll defer the account to the court with the amount. Based on his history, he does have several FTAs in his history. A stay away from the racetrack location, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Any objection to any of that, Mr. McLean?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, as such, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Stay away from that racetrack at 4255 State Route, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hunter.
when you're sick. ACDC can go.
With more concern
Okay.
about.
Good afternoon, Judge Morrow. This is going to be position number 6, Ms. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Francois. Mr. McLean, we're getting some, you're not on mute there, so we can hear you.
I'll turn that's phone.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Ms. Johnson, good afternoon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're completing by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Ms. Johnson, you've been charged in case 25 CR 001836A with simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was June 11th, 2021 out of Atlanta for simple battery. And they took a NOLO plea on that. They have a total of 2 arrest cycles. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Dunlap?
Your Honor, just so you're aware, that was a completely different victim in that 2022 case. This incident date happened yesterday at 7100 Roswell Road. The warrant does have 2 addresses, so I'll put the other address on as well. I'm unclear about which one they live at. 3104 Valley. The Valley, it's the reserve at Highwood Apartments. Officers responded to the address regarding a domestic dispute call. They were flagged down by the defendant, who told officers she had just put her hands on her girlfriend, Miss Vanessa Hodgkins, after having an argument regarding North Carolina. She stated she only put her hands on her because she had took a stick and placed it to her neck, but officers did not observe any bruising on the defendant. When they spoke to Miss Hodgkins, she stated she was trying to talk to the defendant about having to return home to North Carolina because she was having some family issues come up, and the defendant became angry, pushed her while she was holding a broomstick at the time. The broomstick hit Miss Hodgkins in the mouth, causing a small cut to her upper lip, knocked her glasses off the face, and damaged them. The state is looking for a $2,000 surety bond in this case, one on the battery, one on the criminal trespass and damage to property. No further violent contact with Miss Vanessa Hodgkins. A stay away if Miss Hodgkins has already moved to North Carolina. If not, then a stay away. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while on bond, and if you could sound for the victim when appropriate.
Ms. Hodgkins, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. We'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'd have to swear you in.
How you? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Ms. Hodgkins. Let's see, can you right your camera for me there? You're sideways.
Oh,
Now you're upside down.
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, you're fine.
Slow down. Okay.
No, you're fine, you're fine. We can see you. Can you raise your
Okay.
right hand? Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. Hodgkins, what would you like to tell the court?
Okay. Only thing happened is I had told her about my son because my son got killed about 4 years ago, domestic violence, and I was just telling her about that. So I had a broom in my hand, which I did not. She said I touched in the face, but I didn't. So she got upset because I could tell that she was upset. So all of a sudden, it's like push the stick and it hit me in my mouth, and then she pushed me in my face. Broke my glasses, as you can see. I can't see it all. And I had a cell phone that I had put in my name, and she claimed she threw the phone away.
Okay, and do you all live?
I did not put my hands on her. My lip right here was busted. The police took pictures of my lip, and then I was pushed in the face.
Okay, and I'm sorry to hear about your son, ma'am. And let's see, do you want contact or not at the present time?
No, I don't.
Okay,
No.
and which are you living at the Roswell Road address or the Valley address?
It's the Valley address.
It's the Valley address? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And does Ms. Johnson have any belongings there that she's gonna need to retrieve?
Yes, she needs to get her stuff. Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give her a one-time escort with law enforcement to retrieve those belongings, okay?
North Carolina. Right now I'm in North Carolina because we be back Monday. I had to get away for a little bit.
Okay, all right, so you're fine. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Mr. Chitai.
Thank you, Judge. I asked the court to consider the possibility of a signature bond, otherwise the lowest surety amount possible. My client's 42 years old. She is a lifelong resident of Atlanta, Georgia, has never lived anywhere else. She got through school as far as the 11th grade. Currently, she is going to school in order to become a hairstylist, and she's been going to that school for about a month now. She goes to Atlanta Area Tech. For the past month or so, she's also been working at Chipotle. She's trying to maintain that job, and she's supposed to go to work tomorrow. And my client also informs me that she can live with her sister if told to stay away. In addition, my client has a 9-month-old child at home that she needs to take care of. For those reasons, I ask the court to consider a signature bond, otherwise the lowest surety amount possible.
Okay, for the simple battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the criminal trespass, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Hodgkins. Stay away from her residential address at the Valley. She can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Sir, excuse me, Your Honor. Can I say
Yes,
one
Ms.
thing?
Hodgkins. Yes, ma'am.
I've never heard of the 9-month-old baby that she had. This is the first time I ever heard of that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you for letting us know.
Well,
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Johnson.
Your Honor, can I ask someone to put the stay away address in the chat, please?
You have that, Ms. Dunlap?
Yes, I'll send it over.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Judge, can we take a break for a minute? I need to speak to you quickly.
Yes, we do need a breakout room with me.
No, I just need to call you.
You want to call me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just call me. I'll take a break. ACDC, Ms. Johnson has her hand up. Mr. Chata, do you want to address her while?
Yes, I can, Judge. Ms. Johnson, is this a procedural question about bond or about your signature bond? Or do you have
No.
something to say about the case?
I need to say something about my case.
I strongly advise you not to do that because these hearings are being
No,
recorded.
it's about my bank card and stuff that she had.
About what? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's my bank cards with all my money that comes on my bank card that's Miss Hoskins have that in her possession that belongs to me.
Okay, you will be allowed a one-time police escort back to the address to get your belongings, so you could get it then, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll be in recess for just a moment.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. And we can proceed in just a moment. Can I have everyone come on camera for me, that's going to be on camera? And just let me make an announcement for those of you that are with me, that are either victims or you have a relationship to a case or anything of that nature. You cannot film these proceedings without some prior court order. So if I find that you're filming these proceedings, now that I'm telling you, if I find that you're filming these proceedings without having the documentation that you need to actually do that, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court, okay? So do not film these proceedings unless you have been authorized to do so ahead of time. All right. Courtroom
Sir,
2?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
We're gonna go with position 11, Mr. Thurman.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thurman. You have been charged in case 25 CR 001841A with battery. Is there a history?
No, Your Honor, this is the first arrest.
And your honor, I let the clerk know that we had actually amended and added a second count of battery. We did file that down before court, but it was after the case had been assigned a CR number. So I do apologize for the delay.
Okay, that's fine. So can we mute Miss Shauna Jones there? Miss Jones, you're interrupting court. So you're telling me, Ms. Falk, that Mr. Thurman has 2 counts of battery, and are you aware of that, Ms. Bridgewater?
No, sir, but I will add it to the calendar.
Thank you,
Okay.
Ms. Bridgewater.
You're welcome.
Very good.
And Ms. Melguiso will be handling the bond, your honor.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You can proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident is from June 30th, 2024. The location is 3136 East Point Street, East Point, Georgia. Officers in charge of the case contacted the victims, Dante Vigal and Diamond Thurman. Miss Thurman told officers that her brothers, one of them who is the defendant, Mr. Thurman, her cousin, and their girlfriends came to the location, which is where both the victims reside, in an aggressive manner, saying that they wanted to fight Mr. Vigal. Ms. Thurman believes that they got upset about a previous conversation that they had with one of the victim's brother. Her name is Kiara Munford. Ms. Thurman stated that she was pushed to the ground and hit her head when she fell. While on the ground, the defendant and the other individuals started punching and kicking her. She suffered a headache, a sprained ankle, and a scratch on her right thigh. The other victim, Mr. Vigal, told the officers that he walked out of the location to join Ms. Thurman in telling these subjects, including the defendant, to leave. He was punched by another individual in the face. And while he was on the ground, the defendant and the other individuals punched him and kicked him while he was on the ground. This victim had lacerations and bruises under his right eye and on his left cheek. Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Dante Vigal or Diamond Thurman, stay away from 3136 East Point Street, East Point, Georgia, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. If we can sound for the victims in case they are present and wish to be heard, Dante Vigal and Diamond Thurman.
Well, I would like to say something. This is his mom.
Hold on, Miss Jones. First of all, you're gonna have to come on camera. I'm not sure. I don't even know who you are at this point.
I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna sound for Mr. DeGaulle and Miss Thurman first. Is there a Mr. DeGaulle?
Yes.
Okay, so where is this Miss Diamond Thurman here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss Thurman, if you would like to speak, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me.
Oh, no.
This is Mr. DeGaulle on the Motorola. Guess he's frozen.
Yes, Dante is in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost the connection. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, we on two different sides, so.
Okay.
Put on the top.
So, Ms. Thurman, can you please have somebody else hold the baby? Okay, this is a court proceeding, and I need for you to be appropriately dressed. Put on a top for me. Mr. DeGaulle, are you there?
Yes,
Okay, if you would like to address the court, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, sir?
I would just like to tell the court that I want to dismiss the charges and that I didn't want to proceed with it.
Okay, who are you to Mr. Damon Thurman?
I'm the defendant. No, I am the sister of the defendant. No, the boyfriend's no the I don't
He's the
this
father of my daughter. I'm sorry, Judge.
yeah.
He's the
Okay, Ms.
father of
Jones,
my daughter.
Father of the
that doesn't
daughter.
help me, Ms. Jones. I don't need you talking right now, Ms. Jones, because I don't know who you are. So
I'm sorry.
at,
I'm sorry,
at
Judge.
this point, so let me just ask my questions and I'll be with you, Ms. Jones.
Okay.
And so, Mr. Thurman, tell me again. So you are who?
You talking to me?
I'm sorry, Mr. DeGaulle. Yes, you are who?
Yes, I'm the father. I'm the father of Noah. I'm the defendant. The defendant is his sister.
Who is Diamond Thurman to Damon Thurman?
That's his sister.
Okay, and you're married and you're with his sister?
No,
Yeah.
that's my baby's father.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So, Mr. DeGaulle, what do you want to do you have anything that you want to tell me other than you want the charges dropped?
No,
You want to tell me what happened?
nah.
Okay. Miss Thurman, if
Yes,
you'll
sir.
raise your right hand for me. The other hand?
Are we on different sides? So I'm sorry.
Well, you still have the same right hand, don't you? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I'd like to dismiss the charges, but I do have a question.
What's your question, ma'am?
Okay, so do everybody got to turn themselves in for me to drop like all the charges, or I just got to do it? I got to do it separately.
Okay, so right now it's not up to you as to whether these charges will be dropped or not. It's up to the solicitor's office as to whether or not they want to proceed on these charges. So as the case goes forward, you'll have to speak with them as it relates to dropping the charges, but they won't be dropped at the present time, okay?
All right, and I did not say they kicked and punched me. I said I was in the middle of it, breaking it up, and I end up falling.
Okay, all right. So what's going to happen, ma'am, is that the state has recommended a signature bond. I am going to give him a signature bond because of his history, and you all will be able to work this out at some point in the future. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And thank you all for being here. Ms. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor, good afternoon. We are fine with the signature bond. Of course, we would prefer that it be conditioned on no further violent contact because these are obviously family, and it seems as if there's no animosity left there, and this happened almost a year ago.
Okay. So I'm going to give him
Excuse me.
Ms. Jones, you don't have to speak. I'm going to give him a signature bond, and you all will be able to work this out at a later time, and I'm not going to have him stay away from his family, okay?
All right, thank you, because that was the question I had. I'm sorry that I'm interrupting, but I'm also at work as I'm on this Zoom call. So,
Okay, all right, so
but-
y'all will be able to work this out down the road, Ms. Jones.
all right, thank you so much, Judge. You
You're
have a
welcome.
good day, and everyone else have a wonderful day.
You as well, ma'am. As such, for each charge, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with either of the alleged victims. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you all.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. McLeod. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Number 5, Mr. James.
Okay, good afternoon. Mr. James, you have been charged in case 25 CR 001835D with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
Their last arrest was August 17th, 2014, out of Fulton County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That is their only arrest cycle, nothing further.
My case, Your Honor. I have an incident date of March 1st, 2025 at 720 Hank Aaron Drive, Southeast. Officers were dispatched to this address regarding a disturbance call. They spoke with the caller, a Miss Sataray Battle, that's Sataray Battle, traditional spelling, who stated she and her ex-boyfriend, the defendant, got into a verbal dispute about him not having his portion of the rent. Ms. Battle stated the defendant yoked her up by pushing against her neck, but he didn't fully wrap his hands around her neck and then threw things all around the apartment. Officers observed the apartment in disarray and noticed bruising on Miss Battle sustained on her right breast area from when he grabbed and pushed her. The state is looking for a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. A stay away from 720 Hank Aaron Drive. It looks like the warrant stated he grabbed all his things when he was being arrested, so it shouldn't be an issue for a stay away. No further contact with Miss Sataray Battle. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, and if we can sound for the victim when appropriate.
Excuse me, Ms. Battle, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. Need for you to, there you go. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Essentially, what Ms. Dunlap stated was that we got into an argument because he did not want to pay the rent and he was under the influence during the time. It was a struggle between the both of us as he was pushing me and stuff like that because I guess he was upset that I was even asking for the rent. Earlier that day, it was a situation where he has roommates and they were at his other place and they were supposed to pay him rent. And he made it seem like he did have a portion of the rent. So I said, give me what you have. And he said, okay. So when he got off work, I asked him for the portion that he stated that he had, and it ended up being nothing. So from there, he got physical with me, pushing me. I sustained 2 bruises, fell twice out of the entire encounter with him. And then on his way out, as Ms. Dunlap stated, he did throw things around the apartment, throw things at me. So that's basically what happened because I asked for rent money.
Okay, it's my understanding that you don't want any contact at the present time. Is that correct?
Correct.
And do you live at the Hank Aaron Drive address?
I do.
And is he going to need to come back there for any reason to retrieve any belongings?
He has a few things here, so I guess.
All right, I'll allow him a escort with a police officer to retrieve any belongings. Anything further, Ms. Battle?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon.
Thank you.
Mr. Chatai?
We don't object to the state's recommendations, Judge.
All right, as such, for the battery, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Battle. Stay away from the Hank Aaron Drive address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. James. You as well, Ms. Battle.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Number 10, Lorenzo Smith.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. You have been charged in case 25 CR 001838B with 2 counts of simple battery family violence and simple battery against a person who is 65 years or older or pregnant at the time of the offense. Is there a history, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was October 18th, 2022, out of Cobb for criminal damage to property and criminal trespass. There's a total of 5 arrest cycles in Georgia. Felony conviction in 2023 for criminal damage to property, 2018 entering auto, misdemeanor conviction for criminal trespass in 2023, 2018 obstruction. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Melgizo?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident is from yesterday, April 7, 2025. The location is 1700 Staten Road, Southwest, apartment I-73, Atlanta, Georgia, 30311. Your Honor, the two victims in this case is Ms. Suda Salama Shabazz and Cassandra Renee Moore. Officers responded to a dispute at the location. Upon arrival, they spoke with the defendant, who stated that he had been involved in a dispute with the victim, Ms. Shabazz, who is the mother of his child and who is currently pregnant. The defendant told officers that the dispute became physical and that he pushed the victim. Officers did observe that the victim had visible marks on her arms. The victim's mother stated that she heard the altercation. She entered the room, and then the defendant forcefully pushed Ms. Moore to the ground. And Ms. Moore is the second victim. The victim, Ms. Shabazz, told officers that the defendant had been drinking prior to this altercation, and that she had to use a taser on the defendant in self-defense. Based on the statements from all the parties involved and the visible injuries on the victim, Ms. Shabazz, officers determined that the defendant was the primary aggressor and arrested him. Your Honor, we did speak with the victim. She stated that they are in a relationship. They live together at the incident location. They share one child. The victim is currently 5 months pregnant with the defendant's child. And she confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that the defendant is abusive and they have had altercations in the past. The state's recommendation, Your Honor, is a $3,000 surety bond for the defendant to complete a family violence intervention program. No further contact with both victims, Ms. Shabazz and Ms. Moore, or anyone else that resides at that location. Third-party contact, if he wants to see the child, stay away from 1700 Staten Road Southwest, apartment I-73, Atlanta, Georgia. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. And if we can sound, we can sound for the victims, Ms. Shabazz or Ms. Moore, in case they're present and wish to be heard.
And Ms. Melgizo, you're asking for $1,000 on each charge, for a total of $3,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Shabazz, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. I'll need for you to unmute yourself there for me. Okay, yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you, ma'am. If you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
What I tell the court is that this all happened when he wanted to have an argument with me.
Ms. Shabazz, do you have someone there that can hold that baby for me?
Yeah. I'm Yes, he
Okay.
was.
Get to a steady place. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous.
Okay,
But
take your time. Go ahead.
he was really very vulgar towards me for some strange reason. He would always do this. He would always argue about something so pointless with me, and I tried to ignore it, and he would always egg it on and egg it on. Then he went to the store. He came back. He brought me some Gatorade. Then he brought himself some alcohol. And on top of that, he was all up in my face. I was like, get out of my face. My son is asleep. Our son is asleep. And he wouldn't get out my face. So he decided to get up on my face. I was moving away from him. Then he decided to grab me, dragging me out the room where we sleep in. My son woke up. Then that's when my mom came in. Then he decided to push both of us. Then he was making up lie. He pushed my mother down. Then he called the police and made some lies.
My understanding
This
that
man
you
is
don't-
very abusive. This man is very abusive. I can't deal with this during my pregnancy. He did this before when I was pregnant with my second son with him. My first one with him. I'm sorry. So till he's ready to change, he could be around me. But as of right now, going forward, I don't want him around me or my son unless he's willing to change.
Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Shabazz. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you.
it. Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Smith is 24 years old. He has a high school education. His work in the past and present has been working for a gym, teaching fitness, working for a restaurant for 2 or 3 years, and working in tree trimming before that. He has well, I guess that's the incident address. He has family here in town, and I've in touch with them. So we would ask the court to consider signature bond and a 1,000 surety if not. Thank you.
All right, for each charge, it will be $1,000 good bond, makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Shabazz or Ms. Moore. Stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. As far as custody or transfer of the child for the minor's visitation. I'm going to leave that up to another court. So he is to follow any guidelines in regards to third-party transfer if something's established by the Superior Court. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Smith, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. Mr. McLean, he has his hand up. Would you want to advise him, Mr. McLean?
Well, procedural how to make bond, we prefer that you call us on the desk line, which is 2-5215 from the courtroom. Otherwise, we would recommend that you remain silent.
Okay, that's totally fine, but it can't be no contact, and it can't.
I definitely hear
I
a but.
can't go back to that address because.
Let's go back. Let me
get
more time. Listen, Mr. Smith, I'm going to say it again. Be quiet. Thank you.
I'm not supposed to go back to my own address. They don't even pay rent there. They haven't paid rent there since they lived there. So I can't go back to the place that I have to forcefully pay rent.
We explained the concept.
And then they're gonna lie and say I was abusive when they have records of me calling in the court that says that she
It
was
is unseemly for you and me to for the court.
Okay, that's fine. I got it. I just want to confirm because that is my address and I've been trying to evict them for a whole year now. So I can't go back to the address that I've been paying for 2 years now. When they
So, Mr. Smith, listen to Mr. Smith. Listen to me. I don't want you to get yourself in any more trouble, sir. If it's up to you to if that's your address and you evict them, then if you say that you've been trying to do that for a year, you have the right to do that and proceed in any of those type of circumstances. It's my understanding that this is your child that you would be evicting, though. But for now, listen to me. You can have no contact. And if this court finds out that you have had contact, then this bond's gonna be withdrawn and you're gonna be right back where you are. Okay, so I understand your predicament, but take that seriously because if you do, you're gonna be right back where you are. All right.
Your
court will
Honor, if I may,
Yes, Ms.
didn't
Falk.
interrupt. I was under the impression that this was Miss Moore's address. Mr. McLean, do you have any proof that this is actually Mr. Smith's address? The reason why we're asking, Your Honor, is because Miss Shabazz, the two of them are supposed to have stayed away from each other based on a prior case they have. And so I was unclear on whether I was under the impression that this was Miss Moore's residence, but if it's actually Mr. Smith's residence, then it will be Miss Shabazz who will have to leave that location.
Yeah, I don't have any proof.
Okay.
Miss Shabazz, are you still on the line with me?
Yes.
Okay, what's the address, Miss Falk?
The
or Miss-
address is 1700 Staten.
Okay, is that your address? Do you live there?
Yes. We live together.
And- Okay, and do you have, Miss Falk, any previous orders that there was a stay away?
Yes, Your
No.
Honor. We want to maintain candor with the court. We were under the impression that this was Miss Moore's address, not Mr. Smith's or Miss Shabazz's permanent address. But if this is Mr. Smith's address, then it is Miss Shabazz and Miss Moore who will have to depart. But I need some sort of proof of that, either in the form of a lease, something to help me sort out whose address is this.
Miss Shabazz, who is Miss Moore to you?
My mother, she's the grandmother of my child.
And is that your mother's address that you're staying in?
No, it's not.
No. Okay.
Oh, okay, all right. So your mother stays someplace else.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And who's that saying yes behind you?
My mother.
Okay, and so you're Miss Moore?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, and Miss Moore, you don't live at that 1700 address. Is that what you're telling me? You live someplace?
Yes, I have been living here. We all been living here together.
Okay.
Your
Miss
Your
Falk, do
Honor,
you have any-
if I may just inquire, Miss Shabazz, whose name is on the lease? Is it both of your names or one of your names?
It's actually his name on the lease.
Okay. So, Your Honor, it's Miss Shabazz who will have to vacate.
And
I
is
didn't
that
mean to
because-
muddy the water.
Is that because of a previous order?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so
But he dismissed it. He refused it. He was gonna evict us and he refused it. He refused me and my mother because he wanted
Well,
my mother's home.
apparently, Ms. Shabazz, it doesn't, if there's a court order that says that you can't be at that location, then you can't be at that location. And that's mine, am I right about that, Ms. Falk, that there's a court order that says that Ms. Shabazz cannot be at that 1700 address?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're gonna have to find yourself someplace else to live, Ms. Shabazz. Okay?
Okay, what time?
What time and what day that we supposed to leave?
Because she doesn't have any place to go.
Apparently you cannot have any further contact with one another. So if he comes back to that location, he has a right to be there, and you're gonna have to be someplace else when he comes back. That's all I
Okay.
can tell. Okay?
I really don't care. at this
Okay,
point.
so, all right, so there won't be a stay away, Ms. Bridgewater, on this order for Mr. Smith, but there will be a no further contact.
Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
You're
my
welcome.
apologies for the confusion, Your Honor.
No, glad we got that straight, Ms. Falk, thank you.
Because he wanted to holler and scream.
Okay, so who do we have next? Do you have another question? Okay.
I wanted to say thank you, and I don't have no further questions.
Number
Okay.
12, Walter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Walker. You have been charged in case 25 CR 001839Y with criminal trespass. Is there a history?
The last arrest was March 27th, 2025, out of Union City for criminal trespass and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. They have a total of 10 arrest cycles, arrests out of Georgia and Florida. There's a 2024 trespass misdemeanor conviction out of Florida. Out of Georgia, there's 2024 battery family violence, violation of a family violence order, 2010 hit and run. Nothing further to report.
Yes, Ms. Melchizedek.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident is from April 4th, 2025. Location is Exon at 3985 State Route 138, Union City, Georgia. On the day of the incident, an Exxon employee, Mr. Ali Baig, called the police about a person criminally trespassing. When the officers arrived, they saw the defendant walk out of the location. Mr. Ali, the employee, told officers that the defendant was criminally trespassed from the location before, and he was on March 17th, 2025. The defendant was then arrested. Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a signature bond through pre-trial services. Stay away from the Exxon located at 3985 State Route 138 Union City. No further contact with Mr. Ali Baig, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond.
Mr. McLean?
No objection.
All right, as such, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the Exxon at 3985 State Route, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Walker. Okay. We have anyone else there in courtroom 2?
Position 7, 8, and 13 are reset.
All right, position 7, John Lewis, he's reset for what reason?
McLean.
What we
We again spoke with Grady. Grady again attempted to ask him if he would like to speak with me about getting out of jail, and he refused again. I could try, since I have the phone number, we could see if his mood has changed, but basically from yesterday to today, so far, the mood had not changed.
Okay, that'll be reset again until tomorrow. Continue to try, Mr. McLean.
Okay.
Position 8, Leon Phillips, he's reset for what reason?
McLean.
Mr. Phillips was one of those gentlemen who was with Craig Washington. Both of them are going to be referred to Mr. Bartels, and we're going to ask the court to put that onto the competency calendar.
Okay.
They are totally incommunicative. If you go to their cell, they just roll over in the blanket and hide.
Have you already spoken with Mr. Bartels about Mr. Phillips?
Yes, I've told him that Craig Washington and Phillips are coming, but that was as I was leaving the jail. Mr. Bartels was there, and I said, I've got 2 more for you here.
Okay, see if Mr. Bartels can give the court an update by tomorrow, okay?
Now, he is familiar with Mr. Craig Washington in particular. How familiar he is with Leon Phillips, I doubt.
Okay. Well, I'd still like an update tomorrow if possible, so that we'll know where to place them on these calendars, Mr. McLean.
Okay. All right.
All right. And I see that we have Ms. Warf, and the last one is Mr. White. I see that we have Ms. Warfield from yesterday and Ms. White on the line. Were you able to communicate with them, Mr. McLean, regarding Mr. White? And it was Melvin
Yes.
Thompson that was going to retrieve, or that was going to be his adult co-signer, I believe.
Right. They told me that it's what the person named Melvin Thomas. It turns out his name is Thompson, to be more accurate. And he has not yet met Mr. White. And until he meets Mr. White, he can't say he'll take him. So I've encouraged them to, I told them how our court schedules go. And I said, we'd really like to resolve this as soon as possible. As soon as he can meet Mr. White, that would be great.
Ms. Warfield or Ms. White, are y'all on with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hold on. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and I believe Ms. Warfield was the one who gave us the name. Ms. Warfield,
Yeah.
are you with me?
Yes, she gave me the update.
Yes, I am.
Yes, Ms. Warfield. What more can you tell me today as far as when Mr. Thompson's going to be able to meet with Mr. White?
I can't, that's gonna be up to Mr. Thompson to meet with to meet with Gary. He's a potential provider. Until he meets with Gary, he cannot say whether or not he can provide the services for Gary.
Okay, I understand that, Ms. Warfield. My question is, do you have any anticipation of when this is going to happen? Mr. Gary's in custody right now, and I'm trying to get him out of custody as soon as possible.
Well, the goal is, I can't, we're trying to find a place for him. I mentioned to Mr. McLean, maybe if we can have 2 weeks to sort this stuff out, but I can't be specific as to when we can find placement for him.
All right, can I hear from someone, Mr. McLean, Ms. Falk?
Well, Your Honor, I did mention to her when they brought up the idea of a couple of weeks, I said, well, that's when they come back to SAP anyway. And so it's really longer than we prefer. We'd like just a fire built under Mr. Thompson, whom we haven't met yet. I mean, we're not faulting him, certainly, but we would like him to get on it and get him out in the next couple of days.
Well, were you able to talk to him?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Is there a way, everyone, that we could bring Mr. Thompson onto this SEA Zoom tomorrow?
I can reach out to, go ahead. I can reach out to him to see if he, if he's available.
Because I'm not saying that he doesn't understand the urgencies of the situation, but it seems like everybody is referring back to Mr. Thompson. And it's really Mr. Thompson who I think Judge Morrow in the court needs to be speaking with to figure out what our next steps are so we can get this moving.
Gotcha. Understandable.
Exactly.
Okay, so if Ms. Warfield, if you will reach out to him, Mr. McLean, if you have his number, if you'll reach out to him, I unfortunately am not going to be the judge tomorrow, so you'd have to fill whomever that is in as far as what's going on, but I'm willing for my bond order to stand, or for someone else to, if you can locate or determine that he can go someplace else.
Nice court. See y'all later.
That's fine with the court as well. All right, so I guess we will again reset Mr. White until tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Warfield. You as well, Ms. White.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Your Honor, you remember I brought up this morning that there was a Pollard case that needed looking at?
Yes, Mr. McLean.
I went to Miss Pollard and got a phone number for the alleged victim, which is her mother, and she said her mother would know the phone numbers of the 3 people that she had named on last Thursday. I was not here last Thursday. I believe Mr. Getz handled the case, and there was a mention in there on the release order about having defects orders filed. followed rather. So I called 3 numbers and reached one of the 3. And that one of the 3 said the same thing as the alleged victim, which was their impression was that family members had made the decision to totally stay out of everything.
Okay, so what's your resolution? At the time, we needed, I've got that calendar before me. It was Miss Trinity Pollard, who I believe was a 17-year-old. Her mother was the victim, and there were 3 names that were given, a cousin and 2 aunts. So what you're telling the court is that none of these people are willing to co-sign for Miss Trinity Pollard. As such, what is
I've spoken to the first one on that list, and she said she couldn't do it, but if nobody else could, call her tomorrow. And so we're still trying to reach the other 2 unsuccessfully.
Is that the aunt in the case, Mr. McLean? Because if I'm remembering correctly, that was my case, and there was a defects order that she remain with the aunt, and then the issue was that the aunt kicked her out, and the mother came to get her, which is how they got into the second altercation.
I think that's the person whose name starts with A, and she really did not want to pick her up, but
yeah,
we might can guilt her for into it. I mean, frankly, that's what we're doing.
I did receive some further, me and Anna have been receiving some further communication regarding her caseworker in juvenile court. Where there was still, I'm not sure if you're on those emails. I can forward them to you so you're aware.
Okay. That would help.
Okay, so what is your request as of today, Mr. McLean? Anything further on Miss Pollard?
I would say let's try for tomorrow, because it is possible that with family discussions tonight, there may be a change of heart.
Okay, well, I've already signed the order on this. So if any of these people that are on the order are willing to co-sign, be an adult co-signer, then she'd be able to get out of custody. So I don't know what more I can do at this point.
But by tomorrow, Your Honor, I'll be making an argument that since if nobody steps forward, I'm basically going to wave the flag and argue that the Georgia legislature decided to treat 17-year-olds as adults, and we should treat her as an adult for the purposes of returning to court.
Okay, well, you'll have to make that argument before someone else, is what I'm saying, as I'm not going to be here tomorrow or Thursday or Friday.
Understood. All right.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Have we covered everyone for today?
Yes.
All right. So Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you are, whenever you're ready.
Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is April the 22nd. Position number 1 is reset further notice. The defendant was released. Position number 2 is reset till tomorrow on the SEA calendar. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. Position 4 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 5, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 6, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 7 and 8 are both reset till tomorrow. Position 9 is reset further notice. The defendant was released. Position 10 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $3,000 good bond. Position number 11 had an additional battery charge for a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. It's reset further notice. Position 12, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 13 is being reset till tomorrow. And position 14, we're going to give it another shot tomorrow. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
If not, thank you all. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see
Ready
you
to
all
go,
next
Judge.
time.
It's been a wild one today. Take care.
The shorter the calendar, the longer it takes
Boy,
We could have been through 30 cases
but we
by
had to hold on for this one today.
now.
Take care,
Thank
everybody.
y'all.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Okay,
Have a good one.
bye-bye.